So first we'll come up with a program of what we want to develop. We'll pick the unit type, the market that we want to be in or markets, the tenant profile, the design generally, right? Not the specific design for that site, but we say, for example, we want to put our UTH workforce housing model on this site, right? We'll have what I call the programming, right? Because we need to know what we're going to build and develop and rent in order to identify the sites that are a good fit for that. And then we'll move into site identification, land acquisition. And that's functionally just, researching databases of available land. So it'd be things like LoopNet. We use Zillow, interestingly enough, although Zillow is a house website. They do sell land on there, not huge pieces, but sometimes, the kind of sites that we want to find for workforce housing. We'll also work with the brokerage community. We're working with specific people that we have built the trusted relationships with. They know our product. They know the markets we want to be in. They have a history with us. We've proven us to them. And so we will basically go out and look for land assets in all these different channels. Then the site basically is an opportunity, and then we need to underwrite it. And so that basically, so we move from the land acquisition phase, and then we move to the, underwriting phase, pre-development underwriting. That's basically, we'll run a set of numbers, right? When we run the numbers, we'll, do the things that I think most apartment investors would do, and then we'll run a model. We'll basically put all that data, all those variables into an Excel spreadsheet that we've custom built. And I've been running models my entire career. I've probably run hundreds of thousands of different models. And we just say, does this deal work? And the criteria for it is, does it produce sufficient yield to investors to make us competitive in the marketplace? And then once we basically raise the capital and complete the plan check, then we'd go to a land closing and a construction loan closing, and usually an equity closing all together. And we always like to do those in one fell swoop when we can. Sometimes we'll close land early with equity if the timing's right and we don't feel, uncomfortable about the plan check process that's it's going well, right? Then once we do that, now we're ready to issue permits, RTI, as we say in the business, close the loan, close the equity, close the land, take a check down to the city to issue the building permits, start construction. Basically, everybody I think realizes what, residential construction looks like. We do have to manage the subs, do contracts, manage the budgets daily, if not hourly, right? We always have to be bidding and finding new people to join our network so they can get better pricing or deliver more effectively, right? We have to manage the permit process and inspections with the city. Ultimately, to finish the project on time, on budget, to finish it powerfully, right, and effectively for what we need to do. And then once we finish it, we get our certificate of occupancy, and then we'll start our leasing, right? Now the goal is to get tenants moving into units to produce cash flow. We finish the leasing. And then we would, while we're doing that, go out and look for the permanent loan. So we have a construction lender in the beginning, helps us build it. Then when we're finished with the construction, we basically go out and get a new loan. And that's a permanent loan that will hold for the long term. Remember, we're holding for 10 plus years in our structure on the workforce housing model. And then we go, once those are fully leased, then we're in a property management conversation over time. And then, asset management. I differentiate property management as on-site, collecting rents, enforcing policies, leasing in ongoing ongoing property management oversight. Asset management is high level from the developer standpoint. How is the property performing? How is the market? What's our assessment of the market? Do we need to be changing strategy? Do we need to increase rents, lower rents? How's the property manager doing? Are they successful or are they failing? Right? What's the value? Do we need to update value? We need to distribute returns quarterly to investors. We need to make sure they're getting their reports timely, that they're getting their checks, that we're planning for the future, that we assess the market. Should we sell? Should we not sell? Right? What's the market, generally, larger overarching strategy. And then that takes us through ultimately at the end is some capital event that would be a sale, That could be a recapitalization, maybe a refinance of a loan, maybe raising new equity because the original equity wants to get out. Although I say fundamentally for Urban Pacific and for my family's future, we want to own these assets in perpetuity.